So to begin, just come sitting on your mat with a simple cross leg with your hands resting on your knees or your thighs, your elbows nice and loose here. We'll just start to settle into the practice here by closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. Inhaling to the count of 5 and exhaling through your nose at the count of 5. So we'll repeat that a few more times here. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again on your own for a last time, counting inside your head there. Then slowly blink your eyes open and roll your shoulders back a bit. And then switch directions, rolling forward. Maybe drop your left ear down to your left shoulder there, stretching out the right side of your neck if that feels okay, or maybe bringing your hand to your opposite ear. Slowly roll your chin down the center, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, stretching out the left side of your neck, maybe grabbing onto your left ear with your right hand to deepen the stretch. Slowly back to center, lift your head up, and we'll come into a side twist here. So start to walk your left hand out to the side, maybe staying on the palm or your elbow, and reach with that right arm up and overhead, turning to look up and over your chest. Opening up your chest here, stretching, reaching through to stretch out your side body. Inhaling and exhale. And then as you inhale, sort of slowly walking your fingertips all the way over to the other side, bringing your right palm down, maybe onto the elbow, and reaching your left arm up and overhead, stretching, reaching, opening up your chest, looking under your armpit here. Breathe here. Then we'll inhale, walk your fingertips up in front of you. Inhale, coming up onto your fingertips, and exhale, just walk a bit forward, bowing your head down to the floor. Inhale, slowly work your way up as you stretch your arms up and above your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. And we'll come to stand at the top of your mat here. In mountain pose or Tadasana, maybe just shift up your legs and your shoulders, let everything go. Bringing your feet either to touch or hip distance apart, whatever feels good for you. And just stand here in a nice, restful, easy pose, setting your intention for the practice today, whether it's for self-love, to go easier on yourself, or sharing your practice with someone you love. And as you inhale, go ahead and reach your arms up above, palms to touch, and exhale, bend your knees a little bit and try to touch the ground. If your hands don't quite make it there, no worries. Either keep your hands on your shins with your knees bent if your hamstrings are a bit tight, or just dangle wherever you can. We'll take a few breaths here, just letting go, shaking your head out, taking a yes and no. So whatever feels good for your body here. 3 breaths here. Then inhale, either bring your hands back onto your shins or maybe onto fingertips to extend your spine flat out in front of you. And exhale, dive back down into your forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees and slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching your arms above you and bringing your hands to your heart. So that is a half sun salutation, and we'll do that twice more, just to get the body warmed up a bit before we move deeper into our practice. So as you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, extend your spine out to a flat back there. And exhale, try to touch your toes again. Inhale, bend your knees a little bit if that feels good, and come all the way back up. And this time as you exhale, we'll just dive right back down into our forward fold. Inhaling brings you forward, and exhaling back down. Inhale, coming up. Maybe reach back to the back wall behind you, coming into a bit of a back bend if that feels nice. And as you exhale, bringing your hands to heart center, just feeling your heartbeat there, starting to warm up a little bit. And now we'll come into Sun Salutation A. So it's sort of the standard basic warm-up for most yoga sequences here. So we'll begin the same way. As you inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to extend your spine, and as you exhale, plant your palms flat. If you need to bend your knees to do that, go ahead, and we'll step back into high plank. So bring your right foot back, then your left foot coming onto the balls of your feet, making sure that your shoulders are over your wrists, your fingers are spreading wide, and your weight is distributed equally on your palms there. Make sure your butt isn't sagging too much, but it's just stacked in line with the rest of your body. Inhaling here. It's okay if your body shakes, just embrace it. And as you exhale, bring your knees down onto the mat there, and we'll bend your elbows, keeping them towards your rib cage, bringing your chest and your chin onto the ground with your butt in the air here. A little modified push-up. And as you inhale, slowly start to straighten your arms, keeping your elbows a little bent and opening up your chest into cobra pose. Inhaling here. Maybe tilt your head back if that feels nice. Maybe look over one shoulder, roll the neck around, look over the next shoulder. And then as you exhale, we're going to tuck our toes and come into the first down dog of the practice here. So if you're new to yoga, this might be a bit hard of a pose, but eventually it'll become one of your resting postures. So you want to make sure that your hands, again, your fingers are spreading wide and the weight is distributed equally. Your hands should be shoulder distance apart and maybe turned out a little bit if that feels better for your shoulders. Now your feet can be together, as wide as your mat, or hip distance apart. Maybe your knees are bent a lot or a little, or you can bring them to straight, just depending on your hamstring flexibility here. So take a few breaths in your down dog. And then as you inhale, just look towards your hands, and we'll slowly walk to the top of your mat to meet your fingers. Forward fold here. Inhale brings you all the way back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So you just did the first sun salutation here. So just close your eyes and focus back into your breath. So we'll do that once more. So again, inhaling, reaching up towards the sky. Exhaling, folding down. Inhale to look forward. And exhale, this time step your left foot back and your right foot coming into high plank pose here. And once again, if you want, you can drop your knees down, bend your elbows and come into knees, chest, and chin. Or you can keep your knees up and just come straight into low push-up, like a tricep push-up, keeping your elbows in towards your ribs and looking forward. Exhale and come down to your belly, rest. And then inhale, slowly start to peel up into cobra pose. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Maybe pedaling up those feet a bit to open up the calves, bending one knee and then the other. Inhale, look towards your palms, then work your way up to your hands. Inhale, come all the way up, reach for the sky. And exhale once more and dive back down. Inhaling flat back. And this time if you want, you can plant your palms and jump back to plank pose. Maybe lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling cobra pose. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here. Maybe close your eyes, just settling into your breath. And this time as you inhale, go ahead and reach your right leg up into the sky. Roll that ankle around a little bit. And exhaling, either step it forward to the front of your mat, bringing that left knee down. You can keep your hands flat on the mat here. Maybe bring them up to your knees, or reach your arms up into the sky, coming into a low lunge, sinking in to that front leg to open up the left hip flexor here. Focus on your breath. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your fingertips back down onto the mat, and you'll slowly start to straighten that front leg as much or as little as feels good for you. Maybe coming onto the heel of your front foot and flexing your front toes back, or wiggling that left knee back a little bit more here, coming into half splits as you inhale, extend your spine, and exhaling, forward fold. If this is too much, that's a-okay. Just whatever feels good for you, just stay and breathe. Don't worry about how straight your front leg is. It all comes with time. Inhale, straighten your arms, bend that front knee again, and make your way back to downward facing dog. And we'll do the same thing on the second side. So inhale, reaching that left leg up into the sky, and as you exhale, slowly bring that through, maybe helping yourself by grabbing onto your ankle, bringing that right knee down onto the mat. Now you can keep your fingertips here, or once again, bring them up to your knees, or maybe reach your arms up into the sky. Now stretching out that right hip flexor. And then as you exhale, bring your fingertips back down onto your mat. Wiggle that back knee back a bit and slowly start to straighten that front leg as much as feels good for you, flexing the front toes towards your face. Inhale to extend your spine and exhaling, forward fold. You should feel a nice stretch in your left hamstring here. Inhale to extend your spine. Exhaling, bending that front knee, and we'll meet in downward facing dog once again. Inhaling, look towards the front of your mat, and if you want, try and jump to your hands. It's always fun to try something a bit different. If not, go ahead and walk, that's totally fine. And inhale as you all the way back up, reaching those arms up above your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands back to heart center, closing your eyes and just feeling the effects of the little amount of practice that we've done so far, and how just a bit of yoga can totally change your mind and the way your body's feeling here. So just keep breathing, maybe adjusting your clothes like I'm doing, whatever you need. And then we'll come into Sun Salutation B. So it's a bit harder, but it's just as fun. So as you inhale, go ahead and bend your knees like you're sitting down into a chair, maybe bringing your fingertips to touch on the mat. And then reach your arms up above your head, looking towards your thumbs, either keeping your hands shoulder distance apart or your palms to touch. So sit back here. You're sitting in a chair. And then as you exhale, go ahead and straighten your legs, release that. Inhaling, looking forward. And exhale, once again, we'll step back or jump back to plank pose. On your inhale, exhaling, lowering down onto your belly, keeping your elbows close towards your sides there, and coming onto your stomach. Inhale, slowly peel your chest up and open into cobra pose, and exhaling back to downward facing dog. Inhale, this time step your right foot forward to the front of your mat, and you're going to spin your left heel down and bend into that front knee here, and you'll come up into warrior one, keeping your hips square to the front of your mat, and making sure that your front leg is bent deeply, and making sure that knee isn't over your ankle, but stacked right on top of it there. You can either keep your hands at your sides, or bring them up into here. Couple breaths here, in your warrior one pose. And then as you exhale, you'll plant your palms, step back to plank, and back to downward facing dog. And we'll do the same thing on the second side. So step your left foot forward, spinning your back heel down onto the mat, bend deeply into that front knee, and come on up into your warrior one, keeping your hips square. And then as you exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat, and you'll step back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to drop down onto your knees, bring your toes to touch, and your knees as wide as your mat, and we'll sit back into child's pose here, bringing your forehead down onto the mat, just catching your breath, taking a little pause. And then inhale, slowly walk back up. And you'll come to sit on your heels here, just resting your hands on your thighs, closing your eyes. Another deep breath. And just come and sit down, stretching your legs out in front of you. And we're going to come into seated forward fold here. So bringing your fingertips beside your hips, keeping your back nice and straight, and tall. Slowly start to walk your fingertips out. If you need to bend your knees a lot or a little, that's totally okay. Go ahead and walk forward, maybe grabbing onto your toes, ankles, shins, thighs, whatever feels good for you here. Inhaling, looking forward, and exhaling, forward fold, letting your head go, releasing any tension in your body. A few deep breaths here. Inhaling, look forward, and as you exhale, slowly come back to a flat spine. You're going to bend your left knee into your chest and bring it around to the other side, coming out on the outside of your right knee here, centering on your sit bones. And wrap your right arm around your left knee, and as you exhale, begin to twist to look over your left shoulder. Breathing deeply here, make sure that you're not turning your neck too far. If that feels good, you can go ahead and bring your right elbow outside your left knee. And then inhale, come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So extend that left leg out, bend the right knee in, and step your foot onto the outside of your left knee, wrapping your left arm around your right knee, and bringing your right arm behind you, coming into the twist here. that feels good, go ahead and bring your left elbow outside your right knee, pressing it into your knee there to just open up and twist a bit deeper. Inhaling back to center, extend that right leg out, shake your legs off a little bit, and then bring your feet together and your knees apart, coming into cobbler's pose here or butterfly pose, and go ahead and interlace your fingers underneath your feet there. Extend your spine and exhale, start to bend your elbows and forward fold, letting your head go. If your knees are a bit up and you can't really get too far down, that's totally okay. Just stay here with a flat back. Inhaling to look forward and exhale. Go ahead and lie down on your back here. Bringing your feet close to your sit bones as you can, and we're going to come up into bridge pose. So bring your hands flat along the sides of your body, palms down, and as you inhale, go ahead and lift your hips up towards the ceiling there. Take a few breaths here, and you can stay here or go ahead and wrap your shoulders underneath your body, interlacing your fingertips below your low back. Take a few breaths here, just opening up the chest and using your legs and your glutes to support you. And exhale, if your shoulders are underneath you, just go ahead and lift them out, unwrap your hands, and slowly release back down onto the mat here. Inhaling, hugging your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a nice hug. And go ahead and drop your knees over to the left, extending your right arm up and looking over your right shoulder, coming into another gentle twist here. Inhaling, bringing your legs back up to center. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the other side, extending out through your left arm, looking over your left shoulder. Inhaling back to center, give yourself a nice hug. And exhale, go ahead and roll up to seated. Once again, ending our practice the way that we started, legs crossed, palms on your knees or thighs, and just close your eyes here, taking another deep breath in and out through your nose. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow towards yourself and your yoga practice. I hope you feel great. You guys all did great. Thank you so much for letting me share my yoga practice with you guys today. I really hope you liked it. Thank you.